Hey, what's going on, YouTube?
Going on?
You guys were able to make it with us once again.
Bro code.
Hey, bro code. If you
man.
haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hit
Please.
that smash. What's smash? I would like to hit smash
Right.
those likes.
The likes.
You know, and comments when at the end of the video. Okay, so we got this video as you read in the title. We got this clip right here, and it kind of makes you think. What else is there in your child's school that you don't know about?
Excuse me.
Let this clip roll.
A controversial children's book teaching graphic sex acts, complete with illustrations, making the rounds in school libraries and classrooms across the country, leaving parents and communities outraged. One concerned pastor tried to read the book at a school board meeting, but officials asked him to stop. Here's what he had to say about that.
If you don't want to hear it in a school board meeting, why should children be able to check it out of the school system? You see, we have perverts that are perverting our kids. And you all sit back smug in your chairs and celebrate diversity, equity, and inclusion, but you don't want me to read it so you can hear it.
The Reverend John Emenchukwu spoke at that school board meeting, and he joins me now. Reverend, thank you so much for being here. They did not let you talk about the book, but I will. What's in this book?
This book is for children 10 years of age and up. This book is not soft porn, it's hardcore porn. It details explicitly with pornographic images homosexual sex, lesbian sex, straight sex. It promotes and glorifies masturbation while speaking against religions who may call that behavior a sin. This book is used as a tool to create what I call mental rape in the hearts and the minds of children. We are robbing kids of their innocence in America as we allow diversity, inclusion, and equity to dominate our schools. And so many of our librarians are bringing this kind of material into the public school system because they believe that children need to see themselves on the shelf. I don't believe that this is perfectly normal. I believe that this is perfectly perverted, and it needs to stop.
Great point. You got to the point that I wanted to focus on, and it's the why. I want to extrapolate on that. Why? Why are we forcing a book like this on 10-year-olds?
Well, you know, there's this issue of acceptance today. You know, when it comes to inclusion, we have to make sure that everyone's welcome, everyone's invited. We have to make sure everyone feels good. And so along with that comes bringing in pornographic material to show kids about homosexual sex, lesbian sex, gay sex, transgenderism, and all of these things that come along with the alphabet mafia. And so I'm against these things because parents should talk about these things at home. If a parent wants to talk about masturbation and be explicit with their children and show them pornographic images, I don't advise it. I don't think it's something that they should do, but that should be something that takes place at home. But when we rob kids of their innocence, we're leading them down a slippery slope. This book is welcomed in the public school system. But if a teacher were to begin to talk from this book, the Bible, everyone would be up in arms. Listen, we are in a bad place in America. America is spiraling downward, and it's time to storm the cockpit. As we talk about gender theory and queer theory and we turn these schools woke, our children are underperforming. Our students aren't reading on grade level. They're not doing math on grade level. Our achievement rates are down. It's time to get back to education and not indoctrination.
This isn't just happening in Asheville, North Carolina, where you spoke. Parents are fighting back against this at schools throughout the nation. We reached out to a number of them. Some wrote back. The Bonnie Eagle School District in Maine, they have this book. They had no comment. Asheville Board of Education, where you spoke, says parents have a right under federal law to inspect all instructional and supplementary materials as part of any applicable federally funded programs. And the Waldorf School in Long Island telling us, quote, the book in question is an optional supplementary resource for parents that has never been used in the classroom. Reverend, is it safe to say that parents cannot let their guard down for 1 second when it comes to what is being taught in their kids' schools?
No, but parents, you can't let your guard down for 1 second. There are sexually evil and corrupt and deviant, perverted people who believe that this is okay. And so this is how it works. They bring the pornography into the school system. They bring in these gender theory and queer theory books. And if parents don't know it's there, it remains there. And then when parents are told that it's there, then the parents have to go through 10-step processes to get the books removed. This is sinister. It's criminal. It's child abuse. And so I'm going to school boards around the country. If you want to support my efforts, you can go to Erased Book. That's ERACED book.com and support the work that I'm doing nationally. We need pastors. We need the church to rise up and to speak up against this evil that's been done to our children. And we need men in particular in the culture to be bold and to be courageous. Stop being neutered and use your voice to defend our families and our children.
This push to ruin the innocent years of being a child is not perfectly normal. Reverend John Emenchukwu, we appreciate your insight. Thank you, sir.
All right, bro. So,
first of all, this is out of Asheville, North Carolina. Okay.
Nashville?
Asheville with an A.
Asheville,
Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay.
And this story is nationwide, bro. Nationwide, man. This is, and I'm pretty sure everybody all across this country they've aired this story, man. This is a big story, man, because they actually had this type of book in a children's library. Really? And he actually was reading the book to the board members.
Yes.
They even had to tell him, whoa, hey, stop everything.
Right.
Why?
Right.
You allowed the book in there? But you don't want to hear it? What you allowed in here? I mean, just from
Hypocrites.
All day. Well, you know, it's just the devil injecting himself, you know, and his minions injecting, you know, evil into the infrastructure of kids, because that's who they would hit up. Kids, to get through the kids.
It
man.
looked like a regular kids book.
Right, called Perfectly Normal. There's nothing normal in that book. That's for 10-year-olds, okay? You know, that's not even ready for puberty.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's something. I remember being sex ed, we would have a movie, okay? We watched a woman give birth, okay? They had illustrations of, yes, a penis on there and whatnot, and a vagina, and then they showed a woman giving birth. I don't know what that was for, but anyway, you know, it was kind of graphic, but this is something, I didn't have sex ed until I was in high school. All right, we're talking about, if it's 10 years old or whatever, we're talking about elementary students, man.
Fucking
They're not even in high school yet, where they could actually, you know, make sense of the stuff. Even in high school, watching the sex ed movie, you know, it was a lot of us in there just laughing, you know, blushing because you know what I mean? You watching this woman giving birth, and they're showing illustrations of penises and vaginas. You know what I'm saying? It's just we still kids, but we're bigger kids, and we probably could handle it a little bit more better. Well, you know what I'm saying? Versus a 10-year-old, 10-year-old looking at that like, wow. You know what I mean? But you know, just not really looking at it, but. Because I don't know what type of illustrations they had in the book. I just know what the words of the book, you know, that the pastor was saying, you know, and I'm just like, that really was in that book?
Well, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? It just, I mean, and yes, that's, I don't know about you, man. I mean, I've had my bouts with porn as a teenager or whatnot, and I read some of the
as a
teenager, read some of the stories in Playboy or whatever, and you know, that was a little harder than some of that stuff that was in Playboy, man. I'm like, wow. You know, and this is for 10-year-olds, for elementary students that can read. I don't know, Mo. What you think, man? Let me pass the ball to you, brother.
You know, first off, I would have to say, we know how children are. We know how kids are. And kids are like monkey see, monkey do. You know what I'm saying? Anything that they hear, anything that they see, they're gonna try to imitate. That's how kids are. That's kids' nature. And these motherfuckers know that. So when they're putting out a book like that, I don't see how it cannot be used as a way to lure children into doing sexual acts. And see, who would want to see children do sexual acts? These pedophiles out here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They want to make it a normal thing to interject sex or sexual acts or activities into a child's mind. We both know how influential
A young mind is.
child's mind is already.
Right.
So when they look at this type of stuff, they gonna be wondering, could they do that?
And it's not just heterosexual sex either, Mo.
Right.
This is, I mean, gay sex, transgender stuff, and all this. Why does a 10-year-old need to know about that?
You know, why? I guess the biggest question is, why is that even allowed in this society? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, right, but okay, we can ask that question all day, Mo. But my thing is, where's the line being drawn at? There is no line because you're attacking our kids now with this bull crap. You know what I'm saying? And you injecting this stuff into our kids' minds.
Well, it's just like, okay, it was one instance where I was talking about this show, and I was watching a little child watch the show. It was on Disney, and I was like, man, you know, why are they watching this show? Because on the show, it's like they teenagers. It's supposed to be kiddie and stuff like that.
Right.
But they this girl comes in with like 3 dudes with their shirts off. And she asked the other girl, hey, choose one. You know, you know, but this is for kids. It's like a kid's show.
Right.
And I'm like, man, you know, I seen even back then them interjecting their foulness and their pervertedness into children's television, the networks, you know what I'm saying? The music, all of that stuff.
Now, I think, and this had been a while ago too, man. I want to say over 10 years ago, where they had like Disney books or Disney movies, okay, where there were signs of
subliminal
signs of penises and stuff like that in there. Remember that?
Yeah.
And I mean, this was a long time ago.
Yeah.
This was Disney. This is Disney. You know, and yeah, that very subliminal.
Yeah.
Very subliminal.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know how long this has been going on. We really don't. You know how long they've actually been targeting our kids.
Yeah.
You know, we might have been targeted as kids and not even know it.
Not even
knowing
know
it because, again, it's subliminal. How you going to even tell, you know what I mean, that something's happening and you're not even aware of it.
But now they making it overt.
Right. But it's kind of just throwing it out there now. It's just like they want to make it acceptable. They want to come behind that rock they've been hiding behind.
Yeah.
And just come out, you know, with it like, okay, now this is the thing, just like the book says, perfectly normal.
Right.
Now, that's what they want to make it now.
Definitely. Well, you know what's perfectly normal? The rainbow. And the rainbow is a covenant amongst God and his people.
Right.
The rainbow is not a sign for sodomy.
Right.
Okay, that's not the symbol of the rainbow, and that's not the meaning of it.
No, it's
so
not.
when it comes to that, hey, that's perfectly normal. That's something that happens out of nature. Just like a man and a woman, that's perfectly normal.
Right.
When they come together, they can conceive.
Right.
You know, but what's not normal is two.
Right, two of the same
You know
gender.
what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Same
And
sex or whatever.
If we
just
go
not normal.
too far, then they might try to kick us off for YouTube. You know
Well,
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
we're stating the obvious, you know.
Yeah.
But again, this is opinionated show that we're doing,
all the
podcast that
time.
we're doing, and we do have an opinion, you know, without trying to bash anybody. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. I'm not bashing gay people, okay? I don't hate gay people. All I'm saying is that, okay, you gay. All right, I'm heterosexual. You heterosexual. We don't push it off into society. Hey, I'm heterosexual. You know what I'm saying?
Don't
Like,
nobody really care what
don't
you
nobody
are.
care.
You know what I mean? And I get what you're saying. You know what I mean? Whatever you are is what you are.
Right.
Be happy with who you are, but keep that over there. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to our kids and whoever the powers to be behind whoever's injecting that stuff into our kids are innocent. Leave our kids alone.
Right.
You know, so let them make their own decisions when they get older, as they get older, to be able to handle that type of decision mentally.
Right.
But don't try to influence our kids anymore. I mean, it's just, I don't care. Our kids, everybody's kids, I don't care what color you are. America's kids, leave our kids alone.
Yes.
There has to be a line that needs to be drawn, and you know, and there is not one, but it has to be, because they're crossing the line. They've been crossing the line, and you know, and much love to the pastor, you know, for really bringing that out. I don't know if he's the one that actually found the book. Maybe that was actually brought to him, where he brought it to the board members.
Probably
You know,
so.
Pastor John.
Yeah.
But shout out to Pastor John, you know, for speaking out, and
Yes.
just bringing that awareness to, you know, not only just to the board members, but actually to the news, to the country now, because this is nationwide right now, man.
Right.
You know, so we just
right.
really wanted to touch on that, man, and just say good work and doing God's work.
Yes. Oh, and I gotta ask you one question, man.
Yeah.
Did you see the dude that's like a female? Yeah, I guess he identifies as a female. He's a MMA fighter, and he like winning all the fights.
Are you fighting women?
Yeah, he fight women. He winning all the
Who allowing that?
fights. I'm gonna put a clip of that up here.
Yeah, put a clip of that in.
就有一些问题啊。哎呦，没法打，真的没法打，完全被秒掉，而且到了地面就完全，加比加西亚的力量，他的肌肉不停的锤击，俄罗斯战斗民族非常的强大，我就是这样。加比加西亚。十字步
完全他还想挣脱一下，但完全没有办法了。
是。肩膀的柔韧性还是没有，肩膀柔韧性很好，但是肘关节还是柔韧。
And that right there is bogus as hell. There's no way.
Bullshit, man.
I don't, if you want to dress as a woman, you're a man. You want to dress as a woman. You want to be an MMA fighter. Your ass should be in the ring with men.
Man, yeah.
Okay, not with women. When you know you are physically stronger than a woman, that doesn't make any sense. And that's unfair. It's just like having, let's say Wonder Woman on steroids. You know, she don't even need to be on steroids because she's a superhero.
Yeah, that motherfucker look
You
like
know,
Wonder
you know
Woman
what I'm
on
saying?
steroids.
Right, you know what I'm saying? You know, come on there, Nene. That's not a competition. Of course,
Right.
it's winning all the fights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's not a she. You know what I'm saying? It's not a she. It's a he.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He needs to be in the men's MMA ring.
I guess so when we talk about normality, other countries are at normality a whole lot more than we are. And imagine how they looking at us. They probably looking at us like we got a whole bunch of mess going on here.
It's Sodom and Gomorrah.
Man.
It's all this Sodom and Gomorrah, but you remember, God don't bless no mess.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? So you ain't got no part of what these people out here doing, man.
Right.
But then, you know, an agenda that they pushing. But again, like I said, you know, we just, you know, just keep the awareness out there and just seeing how they are attacking our kids. That's be off limits at all times, at all costs. And we have the right, and it is our duty to protect our kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with that being said, get from out of her. Till next video, you all. Peace.